Okay, a few seconds. Okay, what I'm going to talk about today is a movie that I saw last night called 1916. Came in right after Bible study, came into the house, my wife had it waiting for me. Had no idea what it was about, but I started watching it. Now, basically, the basis of the story has to do with Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger. In 1914, Margaret Sanger opened up the first abortion clinic in New York. In a neighborhood that was basically populated by immigrants. Impoverished people, blacks, Hispanics, big population of immigrants. They brought them in there, and in 1916, abortion was illegal. Now, Margaret Sanger was actually influenced by people like Karl Marx, influenced by people like Adolf Hitler, Mussolini, who was a dictator, was an ally of actual Adolf in Italy. And then, you gotta look at the Ku Klux Klan, the forming of that. The thing is, Ku Klux Klan is a very big part of the Democrat Party. It was actually founded by Democrats. Margaret Sanger was a devout Marxist. Now, she put that clinic out there to actually cleanse the population ethnically. That's the main point of Planned Parenthood, is to stem off populations that they deem undesirable to fit. And part of the ideologies that Margaret Sanger had, right, was the idea that mankind was an animal. So you got a lot of Darwinism in there, and he's a part of it, part of that whole thing. The founder of the ACLU, the very same people that are pushing off affirmative action and stuff like that, they're all involved with each other. And what it is genocide. Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, what was their undesirables? Jews. So they killed them in mass numbers. Killed them off. Because they're deemed unfit. Right? Just like in Animal Kingdom, the strong kill the weak, right? So they use that ideology to push, white supremacy. Right? Yet they call Donald Trump a white supremacist because he's white and he has money. Okay. The thing is that you guys are getting hit with an illusion. You focus your hatred for the United States on one person, that wants to be president. You promote somebody else that is unfit to actually lead office. That's a Democrat policy. What they do is they actually have a crisis, and they make up some new law that actually benefits the Democrats in power. Not the people at the bottom that actually receive all these freebies and stuff. Because in turn for having free housing, welfare, affirmative action, black-only colleges and stuff like that, right? That's the illusion that they give you so they can screw you over on the back end. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at Margaret Sanger's ideology, she's about eugenics, which is the ethnic cleansing of a certain class of people that they deemed undesirable or unfit. That's Margaret Sanger, 1916. If you watch this movie, you will see from the beginning to the end of why the Democrats actually use this. Now, to actually make it short so somebody get interested in watching this movie, I'm not going to tell you every in and out of this movie. It's long. But what it actually is basically promoting eugenics So you take abortion out of the equation, the Democrats, what other policies do they have? Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about trans people. Talk about the alphabet people, okay? Lesbians, gays, transsexuals, primarily. They want the acceptance on that thing. The reason why is that if you actually look at the history of Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood, that was part of the thing was sexual immorality. They were pushing that. Sexual immorality. They had orgies going on, all this other stuff. I mean, hedonism to the highest count, right? Now, you take that ideology and you look at the Democrat Party as a whole. You got to put Harvey Weinstein in there. You got to put Jeffrey Epstein in there. You got to put in P. Diddy, Jay-Z, Oprah, Beyonce, all this stuff going on right now with them, right? People ratting on each other because of the P. Diddy thing. Give you an example. Usher was actually on The View not too long ago. And what he was saying is that everybody has a right to their own opinion to vote their conscience. He didn't promote anybody. But the few days later, that guy ends up on Kamala's campaign saying, hey, I'm promoting Kamala. Well, the thing is, P. Diddy, with all that shit going out, you think that the politicians in power right now, Kamala and their handlers, the people that actually own the damn party, which is Obama in the sweatpants, are pushing all this. Now, you got Obama getting accused of being gay. You got accusations of Obama and Michelle being at a P. Diddy party, raping an underage girl. That's an allegation that's out there. I don't know if it's true, if it's unfounded or not, but the thing is, I mean, there are so many people saying that Obama's gay, and I hate to say it, man, he put up the damn rainbow flag, the pride flag, and lights on the White House. He did that. Started pushing off affirmation stuff. Next thing you know, you go to any kindergarten out here and you had, transvestites reading to children? Making gay people normalize them in our culture. Influencing our children. They put pornography in books in schools. Now, I'm going to go into the hood right now, what they're doing over there. You get free housing and welfare, but on the back end, what do they have in those areas? The biggest eugenics program in history, which is Planned Parenthood. It's eugenics. Margaret Sanger opened the first clinic in an affluent neighborhood that was known for impoverished people along with immigrants. Single mothers was her attack. If you go into certain neighborhoods, project areas, right? In order to get Section 8 housing or, housing, welfare, all that stuff, you have to live in a home where you have children, right? Either an absent father or absent mother. They have to be single parents. If they are married, the husband isn't allowed to live there. Otherwise, their chick dries up and they get kicked out of housing. Margaret Sanger and the Democrats have purposely put Planned Parenthood clinics in these areas. That's what this movie's about, how they actually did it. And there are people actually involved in it that you would never think of. One of them is the ACLU itself, the founder. Right? Blacks being offered affirmative action, all this other stuff. Lowering standards in schools. Right? But the biggest eugenics person that we know of in history was Adolf Hitler. Now, Adolf Hitler wanted the ethnic cleansing of all Jews. Mussolini, being an ally of Adolf Hitler, pushed for that too. Then you got Nazi sympathizers in the Catholic Church doing the same thing. Catholics, they had, let's put it this way, the Pope during that time actually met with Adolf Hitler. Okay, met with him, and basically they brought out people that were Jewish that converted into Christianity. They were just Jews ethnically, not religiously. They were Christians. So the Vatican outed these people and said, hey, these are the people we don't want you to kill. Well, they also had sympathizers within the diocese that actually put these people out in the forefront, and they're part of the first group of people to actually go to Auschwitz. Okay. Now, that's not in the movie. That's just something I actually learned from looking into the Catholic Church and how it's becoming secular. They are now promoting all religions to go into Catholicism, which is another one world government, to be honest with you. The Vatican is known for being out of God. All the symbolism behind it, I can go on for hours. I'm not going to do that. I'm focusing on this. Now, we got these clinics in these areas, and predominantly the people that they service are blacks, Hispanics, and immigrants. Blacks are 13% of the population, yet they are only 3% of that population is actually having children. So when you got Democrats coming out and saying, hey, our population is going to be primarily made up of Hispanics, right? That we need more people. It isn't that. It's to replace the population that they have already, which are blacks and Hispanic. Americanized. They're educated about, certain aspects of our government and how it works. The last thing they want is somebody that has an ideology that is against the left and their policies. They want them annihilated, so they put these clinics in those affluent areas. And the sad thing is, even moving over to the white areas, no difference. The thing is that what they want to do is take God out of the equation and become your God. See, they always put it under the guise of democracy. It's not a democracy. When you have groups in the Democrat Party pushing on alphabet rights, right? Pushing on child pornography, sexual immorality, okay? The ending of the nuclear family, fathers or mothers not being in the home with their kids. Basically leaving most of the kids, to bend the knee down to government. And I find out about the ACLU, all these people in league with each other. How Margaret Sanger is actually part of the KKK. And what the Democrats are actually doing right now by pushing all this stuff. Pushing all this stuff that's against God. I mean, you even have preachers now coming out of the woodwork in the Democrat Party saying, we're going to accept gay people. We're going to accept people like Kamala Harris that went out there and used their coochie to actually become somebody. These very same people, if you take abortion out of the equation on a Democratic platform, what other policy do they have other than leading you into hedonism and death of the family in itself? Because it's just a lot easier to control one person that's alone than somebody that has a group of people behind them that have influence on that one person. They want to separate us. First of all, they separate us into classes as far as color goes. They push their ideology on certain focus groups. They started doing it during, I guess, LBJ's administration, because he was going to lose the Democrat vote if he didn't have blacks on that side. Now, prior LBJ, okay, guess what the blacks were voting for primarily? They were voting Republican. Yeah, Black Wall Street back then. You know, I saw pictures of my uncle's mother, who's an Oklahoma black person, right? Southern gal. Her being at a business convention in expensive clothes. I'm talking about like in the 1930s, 1920s. I mean, she was fine back then. I mean, she was beautiful. The thing is that the Democrat Party got rid of that. They started offering free housing. Right? Affirmative action. Free housing, free welfare, free money. But you can't have the father in the home, therefore destroying the nuclear family. Or the mother being gone and the father being by himself, again, destroying the nuclear family. Then they push on hedonism. P. Diddy parties, Epstein, Harvey Weinstein. All these people are connected. Everybody in the Democrat Party are connected in one way or another to Margaret Sanger. Seriously. It's all under the guise of Planned Parenthood, My Body, My Choice, when it actually is, what it is eugenics. Where they put these clinics in primarily minority communities. So they want them to kill them off easier. Once they're gone, all I have to do is focus on certain white people. Get rid of them. Now, we've already seen the replacement of the population here. From citizens that are actually voting now and illegals actually getting freebies, getting registered to actually vote. If you take abortion out of the platform of the Democrat Party, I want you to ask yourself one question. What other programs do they have for me other than that? Take abortion, shit can it, and go over their policies. What are they? So I sure as hell don't know. I see all this shit that Kamal is promising, just like every other Democrat has done. Every other Democrat has tried to play the same old game, and people are catching wind of it and going, fuck this woman. When you see the total destruction of townships in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, you see all these places get decimated by hurricanes, yet we find out that the money was meant for that went to illegals. Because illegals are a lot better to control, because if they don't fall in line, guess what happens? Democrats are going to start deporting them. See, they put that on Trump, but secretly they're doing the same shit. Kamala was actually put in place to keep the ideology of the Democrat Party in power. They're using her. Right? And the only thing that she talks about is Orange Man bad. Trump is Hitler. Trump is a white supremacist. He only loves white folk. Right? But if you look at the Democrat Party, and you look at the centralized how Planned Parenthood came along, you're going to change your fucking mind. You're going to see who the real snakes are. So I implore you to watch this movie, 1916. It's on X. It's free. take a couple hours out of your day and learn something, so you can protect yourself and your family and the people that you love from becoming a victim of what the fucking Democrats are pushing. Number one thing that's against God is eugenics.